Welcome to the buymeacoffee.com/James Poetry, the coffee tips page that supports my James Poetry creative productions and work. See also jamespoetry.online.
Hello, perceptive reader. This is a James Poetry consultant moment, and this is emphasis on poetry, poetry and art, writing, reading, all that good stuff. I want to share something with you where maybe you can say they got it right. They got it right. And what I mean by that is there's been many stories and movies, call them coming of age type shows, where I like to say the truth is in the parable or in the story, as far as in this instance of they got it right. You see, there's always a conflict, as you know, in those type of coming of age, young people movies, teenager movies, high school, of that nature. There's the cool kids, and then there are the ones who are not. And so they don't fit into the groups or the cliques or what have you. Yet, what you see at times, whether it's in the lunchroom or outside during recess, the cooler persons will sometimes single out or pick on someone who is not of their group. And you will see that sometimes the person who is not of their group won't respond. Sometimes it's because of fear, and then other times it's because of their view, their mannerisms, how they view life, how they view people, because of what they're learning from their parents. And it can even be on a spiritual note. And that's what some of these shows have actually shared with us over the years quite a bit, that it's what they're being raised upon as to why they don't really respond in a negative way back to the ones who are picking on them. You know what else that also ends up showing is this. Still another form of humility. And that's what I want to emphasize, because what the movies end up showing is when these persons who may be popular or of the cool kids group, so to speak, in the movies, when they are picking on these persons, some of them become enlightened in the process for a variety of reasons on why they shouldn't pick on this person, or they shouldn't have picked on this person. And then you see what some of these shows will actually place in there in very interesting ways and emotional ways at times, as that cool person comes to the realization, then they actually go at times and show that they apologize. Okay. Now, I'm mentioning that for a reason, because notice what the humility does already. See, often, really, it is the humble persons that do get picked on. And so there's a presumptuousness or pride that actually causes persons to pick on the persons who showing humility. And so whenever they want to make the situation right or better, see, and that's what I want to emphasize. If you're going to apologize to, or in the movies when they show that they're going to apologize to the person, it's already a person going and apologizing to someone who has shown humility towards them. Anyway, like the movies end up showing. See, the truth is in the parable, because this stuff like this happens all the time. And so what I'm emphasizing is this. Sometimes people are maybe scared or afraid for a variety of reasons of apologizing to this individual in this way or that way, thinking that that individual is going to turn around and rip them open. You see, with berating words and all sorts of stuff, and try to destroy their life and all sorts of stuff. And yet, really, the person in some cases, maybe in a lot of cases, but I do know in some cases, they are they are not bit more thinking about ripping open the person at all. You see what I'm saying? Um, you will find some persons they don't even expect no apologies or what have you. But what I just really want to emphasize is all the stress that a person may go through at times. It is still dealing with maybe in some cases their still own group who they feel they have to keep approval of in this way or that way, and it's not even the person who has already shown humility towards them quite a bit, and still isn't wishing any ill will on such ones. The other example that's in some of these movies where I said, see, they certainly got it right in this area, is sometimes people can really get themselves even in a pickle, a bad situation where they don't even really see a way out. And yet, again, the very persons that may not have been acceptable to them in one way or the other is still the individual, like some of these movies ends up showing, is the one that could really help greatly in this area or that area. But again, what does it take? It just takes some courage and humility, and these cases that the movie ends up showing. Isn't there something on one hand, it takes humility to apologize, but then at the same time, it takes courage to do it, depending on your situation and what you feel you want, desire, or still need even validation from for a variety of reasons. Because it gets very serious when you have your finances and everything all tied up in this situation or that situation. But all the same, um, watching some of these older, movies and stuff like that, it really does go to show these are different real life scenarios that have played out. You may have already experienced it for yourself, but I like to bring out right now at this point that sometimes people may have picked on this person or that person, and then maybe feeling bad inside for one reason or the other. They may feel moved to apologize. Uh, but one thing they most likely don't have to worry about with some persons, because I told you when it talks about humility and just the outlook of a person is, most likely the person will just say, I accept your apology, thank you, but still just, go about their business. It just depends on, what the situation is. It's, you see what I'm talking about? If you already feel the need to apologize to somebody, I like to always remind um, individuals that, okay, if you do that, then there still shouldn't be no expectation of anything still from that person one way or the other. You did what your heart and maybe conscience moved you to do, but then that still doesn't mean automatically that the relationship will be restored all the way back to the way that it used to be. You see, that could take time, if at all. Eventually, this is what I can guarantee you. Eventually, You keep pursuing your relationship with God, and all relationships that God has with, you see, these different people, even people we don't know, will all be restored and unified eventually in time. Every single one of them. So, for example, there are just probably less than a handful of people right now that, yeah, I straight up, I really feel they act like a bunch of jerks. I really do. And the thing about it is, it's not just opinion. I mean, it's so obvious what, the way certain things were done. But at the same time, if these persons keep working on and developing their own relationship with God, and as I strive to do the same, then 1,000 years from now, we'll be laughing about things and won't even be talking about this period of time where, they did this to me or that to me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that, and I just thought I'd share that with you as well. Anyway, have a very wonderful day, Perceptive Reader.